I work a lot with groups of people under me that aren't necessarily believers, and I
Yeah,
wanted to know, part of it's coming from the previous question about Christian nationalism, but
yeah.
is it morally right to be basically putting on people who are underneath you the standards of a Christian morality, specifically in speech? And if so, how do we justify that because they have freedom of expression, freedom of speech under the
Yeah.
Constitution? How do we justify that we should have religious freedom if we're censoring them?
Let's think of some circles here. First of all, we have the circle of, say, the Christian family and the Christian church. So there it's real clear what our authority is to speak to these issues and to regulate behavior. And, I'm not even, I'm traumatized now by some words that aren't curse words that weren't allowed in my house. Some of them I haven't figured out to this day, but nonetheless, can't say that. Um, so the inner circle, let's just say, is the family and then the church. When you get into larger circles, things get more complicated, and things get legally more complicated. So, for instance, let's say that one of those larger circles is a public school. That another one of those larger circles is a private employer. Well, a private employer can set a lot of rules about what can take place in the workplace. And so that might fall under the category of what you're talking about. I'm not sure. In other words, a workplace, and look, federal law and the administrative state, they're reaching into all kinds of things here. But the argument from the Christian side is that this is creating an environment conducive to people being able to work together and not harmed by the presence of language and behaviors that would make it virtually impossible to work together. And I'll just tell you that there's no way. I don't want to say a company here, but I mean, you take a department store, perimeter mall. There's no way they're going to allow an employee at the jewelry counter to use certain kinds of language. It's not going to happen. They don't have a First Amendment right to do that as an employee of that store. Now, could they make a claim? Of course, they can make a claim, but at this point, at least, there is some power reserved to that private setting that might not be present in a public setting. And so right now the public school argument is you can't have an environment conducive to learning if you allow certain things, certain speech, certain behaviors. Now, if you're in the middle of Central Park in New York, first of all, God bless you, good luck. But if you are in the middle of Central Park in New York, it's harder to establish those rules. So I don't know what the rules are in your workplace. You're someone answerable to someone else. I don't know what their rules are. But I will say a private employer has the right to protect a workplace conducive to the work. But as a Christian, sure, you should be free to share your Christian concerns about such language. But I don't know the extent to which, even in a private employment situation, you can use that as the main argument. To be honest, I think lawyers are going to probably direct you towards the fruitful, conducive workplace argument. God bless you.